I mean, without, okay. So our distinguished resource person, Honorable Dr. Ganesh Soni, has joined our platform to deliver his expert lecture. May I introduce him? A very distinguished personality, a very enthusiastic, young and dynamic, learned person. I will just introduce you, and you would understand. Mr. Ganesh, may I proudly inform that he is my student about 20 years ago.
Yes.
At Government Polytechnic Amravati. He received a gold medal there in diploma. So he started with Polytechnic system itself. He earned the gold medal in Mechanical Engineering diploma at Government Polytechnic Amravati, which is an autonomous college of Government of Maharashtra. He subsequently completed his degree from VNIT Nagpur, which was Vishweshwarya Regional College of Engineering then. And then he completed his MTech from BITS Pilani, prestigious BITS Pilani. Thereafter, he completed his doctoral degree, PhD, from IIT Bombay and Monash Research Academy of IIT Bombay. He is currently working as Quality Assurance Manager for digital software at Hexagon India Limited at Pune. Mr. Soni is very passionate about bridging the gap between academics and industries. He is keen on spreading awareness about practical use of finite element analysis and design using composite materials. This is the domain area. He has delivered guest lectures at various IITs also, at many engineering colleges, and has delivered keynote speeches in national conferences, etc. Apart from technical topics, he regularly delivers expert lectures on resume writing. There are people on this board from various engineering colleges and polytechnics, and it is necessary to guide our students insofar as their CV writing is concerned or a resume writing is concerned. So Dr. Ganesh Soni excellently guides students on how to write resume. He also conducts sessions on interview techniques and so on. Then he has also been in association with MIT Pune, VIT Pune, College of Engineering Pune, VIT Bhopal, VNIT Bhopal, Nagpur, etc. His course on resume writing on udemy.com has been used by 1,000+ students. So such a distinguished personality, a very young and dynamic, and highly qualified industry personnel in the form of Dr. Ganesh Soni is now here today to speak on curriculum for digital revolution. Okay, so may I invite Dr. Ganesh Soni to begin his session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I cannot forget, you people have taught me whatever I am today, given me values, given me all the important fundamentals on which I have built the blocks, nothing else. So without your blessings, I couldn't have learned or reach here where I am today. So anyways, let's start today's session because we are already a bit late and on a time crunch. I would definitely prefer this talk to be interactive. So at any point, you have any questions, you would like to have a discussions, just feel free to raise your hand and we can have a discussion. So I'd like to start the talk with the small clip. So I hope you guys see it. Do you, okay, am I sharing? No, I'm not sharing. So now, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, now let's hear what he say.
And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence. We're all feeding this network without questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI. So all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. We're in almost like a doomsday countdown. This time frame is not relevant to AI. It can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.
So I hope, guys, everybody knows him. He was Elon Musk, right? One second.
Yes.
And now, so my first question to you after looking at that video was what he was saying. He was saying that we are all programming AI and we are doomed. Humanity is going to be slave of AI. We have seen so many movies on robotics where AI really takes over and we become slaves. Yeah. Now it is happening. Okay. It is what is happening. It might be dangerous. We don't know. We really don't know. At the moment, everybody is working towards it. Maybe it is good, maybe it is not good. But the point I'm trying to make is, how do you solve any problem, if at all there is a problem, is to accept that there is a problem. Now, if everybody is working in AI, if everybody is working towards it, we all have our stomachs to feed. All students would like to have jobs, and it's simply impossible to be irrelevant to it. So we must upgrade ourselves at least to understand what is happening. So the topic of my today's session is, and I rephrase it a bit, it's called Curriculum 4.0 for Industry 4.0. Now let's begin. So it's a bit about me. It's the window here. Okay, let me put it here. So about me, I did graduation from Government Polytechnic Amravati, NIT Nagpur, followed by BITS Pilani, followed by IIT Bombay. My PhD topic was nonlinear micromechanics analysis of composite material. So basically what I did is I did a variation of fiber orientations and the material properties to find out the effective properties on a macro scale. And I combined all the 4 different failure mechanics which are present in a composite material. So fiber failure, fiber matrix failure, matrix cracking, and delamination altogether. At the moment, I'm working as a manager, QA manager at Hexagon. It's been 7-8 years journey already. After I graduated from IIT, I just joined this company, and I'm taking care of quality assurance of software called DGMAT, which is exactly doing micromechanics of composite. I'm also responsible for the QA of artificial intelligence based, which has a machine learning involved, cloud-based material engineering platform. Yeah, so I'm also part of it. So that's the very reason I think I'm qualified enough to talk about this technology. Now, why am I here really? Like, I'm working in the industry, it's been 7 years, I'm guiding 1 PhD students, but I'm very much passionate about bridging the gap between academics and industry. I would really love to talk to academicians, students, to get them jobs. Yeah, they have so much energy, zeal, enthusiasm to learn. And whenever, and most of you are teachers, you can agree with me, whenever I teach them something, I learn. Yeah, teaching teaches teachers more than students. At least that's what my experience so far. So whenever I explain them anything, I talk to them anything, I prepare such presentation. Of course, I prepare something and I learn something. So whenever I talk to you, I learn, and that's why I'm here. People or teachers like Sakalkare sir, Moon sir, Thakur sir, they have built me what am I today. Yeah, and I'm just paying it forward. So those are the two reasons I'm here. Now, what is Industry 4.0? I mean, it's been 2 days already. You guys are hearing about it. This workshop is entirely organized around Industry 4.0. So at least my idea or my style of explaining stuff is the simplest. Yeah. Industry 1.0 was mechanization of steam power bearing. Why is it working? Yeah. While Industry 2.0 was somewhere in 90s where mass production arrived. Industry 3.0, little bit of automation, little bit of computer science, little bit of electronics, so around 2001, 2005 timeframe. But now we are entering into Industry 4.0, that is a cyber physical system, Internet of Things, network. So everything is connected to everything via internet. That's all. It's that simple. Now, little more detail into it. There exists a machine tool, which is doing a production for you. Sometimes it is doing a maintenance. Sometimes it is doing a quality assurance. It is doing something. It can be something, which is controlled by, of course, electronics devices, because it's an electromechanical system. It cannot be different, or it cannot be purely mechanical, because pure mechanical things I don't think exist anymore. Like our IC engines are also these days fired based on the electronics chip, which tells us now fire. Okay, so everything is electromechanical per se. So electronics combined with mechanical things, combined with cloud storage, so which is connected over the internet. So some person, I think I was attending Pute sir's lectures yesterday, that so the programming is happening in Pune. Some part of programming which is critical is happening in Bangalore. Person is sitting in Mumbai. Production is happening in Nagpur. Something is coming from Kanpur, and still that foundry, which is Industry 4.0 foundry, is working. So everybody is communicating with everybody by using internet, and it's entirely shared over a cloud with the real-time visualization is what Industry 4.0 in a simple words. Now, when I was going deeper into it, overall, what is it? Yeah. So it's very common these days to have a CNC machine. Very few people are nowadays using machines where worker is there.
Dr. Ganesh, may I interrupt a second for
yes,
you?
please.
Dr. Anand Pawar has raised hand.
Yes, please.
Dr. Anand Pawar, would you like to say something?
Yes. Yes, let's monitor it this way.
Pawar sir, you have raised your hand. Is there any query, sir?
Maybe it was accidental.
No, maybe accident. Yeah. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt you.
No problem, sir. Yes, yeah. So the idea is, today, you go to any modern industry, you wouldn't find people who are doing tool fitting, who are fixing things, who are actually doing turning. Yeah, it's very, very rare condition. Everything is computer based, automized. Yeah, there are machines, there are tabs, there are CNC programming controllers, which are actually producing things for you. Yeah, so that part where we were involved heavily in building things is gone. Okay, now what do you do with the available energy, with the available time, with the available resources? Where are we supposed to invest our time? Now, as per Industry 4, or at least this is expected by the people who are looking at the future where we should be, that we should be investing time in intention. So what we want to achieve, like this Elon Musk guy is looking for building a solar farm, which can give a power to entire USA. Yeah. So what are our intentions? What we want to achieve? Because he simply says that we know a fuel is a known quantity. We just have adequate amount of fuel, but it is gonna get exhausted at some point in time. And if we continue to use petrol or diesel, we will be doomed very soon. There would be war for it. And hence, today is the time when we think that, okay, a problem is gonna come in future. What should I do about it? And what should be my actions to address those? One. Second is we should invest our time into science and technology. Like, for example, COVID has taught us that how important it is to invest our energies into medical sciences. Like in India, we know that it's very difficult to get admission into medical college. Why? Because there are only few number of medical colleges available. And there are, I don't know, tons and tons of engineering colleges available. Why? Because the standard required to set up a medical college and the cost involved is simply too much. Government is not supporting that. And as soon as we realized it with COVID, now government is funding and pushing people to get into medical technology. It's good in a way, yeah? And that's where we should be investing our time into. These days, we don't see a lot of people investing time into art. That's our very human nature. That makes us human, you know, art, movies, drama. This is what makes us what or who we are. So we should be investing that. And we should also definitely invest into exploration, finding new opportunities, finding new things. So we should leave this automation production to the machine, but incline our intentions to learn and do these things. Now, why am I telling you this? Because this is what I'm expecting that you should tell your students. I mean, I'm not saying that don't learn CNC programming, do learn that. But at the same time, please pay more focus or intention on these beyond activities, because like for example, most of us have a maid at home. Yeah. So she would be doing cleaning, utensil cleaning, floor cleaning, washing and everything. We have a washing machine now. Yeah. The time which is saved by running the washing machine, we should invest into something which will be useful for future. That's all I mean. Yeah. So education should adapt to current disruptive technologies. Now, what is changing with Industry 4.0? That's a major important thing we should put our focus on. And as you have seen in that video, a lot of things are changing. So I think there was a message. Is there a question, anybody? Okay, not the case. So major shift in the future jobs is definitely happening. Now, shift in the task performed by humans and machines is definitely happening. There are a lot of robots these days available. So I visited Munich BMW manufacturing facilities, and entire assembly line is fully automated. There are giant robots of the size of the buildings, yeah, and which are performing all the operations on the car. So those tasks which used to be humanly tasked are now replaced by machines. Now, risk, you know, all the risky things where the chemicals are involved, where there were human risk, there were life risks, all were replaced by robots and AI. But at the same time, new set of jobs are emerging. We would be talking about it. Which are the jobs which are emerging? Now, education needs to provide better human competence with machine learning and AI. And that's what we should spend our time into. Okay, how can I learn machine learning? How can I learn artificial intelligence so that I can take advantage of it? Now, on the right side, you see a hammer, and I'm pretty sure you have heard this story before, but still for you, I'll tell you. So while manufacturing a metro or while building a metro in Pune, they come across So they use a really big drilling machine. Yeah, they drill the entire mountain by using that drilling machine. And at some point, this drilling machine simply stops. Yeah, and they got 10 engineers. They try to fix something. They try to even replace certain things. It wouldn't simply work. And then they call this one guy who is supposed to be an expert in the particular area. He comes, he picks out a very small hammer from his bag, and he simply does a small, touch at a certain point of the machine, and simply machine starts. Yeah, and this guy simply says, "Okay, my fees are 1 lakh rupees." And this person who is a manager of this project, who is controlling all the cost, he said, "Why 1 lakh rupees? You have simply taken a hammer out and tapped at a particular location." He said, "For the tapping, it is maybe just give me 10 rupees. That's okay. Remaining amount is to know where to tap. It's a skill. I have built it over the years to know where the problem is." And today's world, my dear friends, is of the skills. It's not about knowing. The knowledge is all there. If I want to learn about AI, everything, all I need to know is there on YouTube. It's there on web. There are trainers available who will train me if I pay enough to them. But skills can be developed only by practice. Yeah. So discover with more hands-on skill-based approach. That is what I would suggest our approach should be towards our students. Now, what we need to do? We need definitely machine learning. I'm again and again coming towards it. We need to know machine learning, at least the fundamentals. We need to know what is artificial intelligence. Little bit of robotics for sure. 3D printing is the new area which is emerging, which is a bit easier, I would say, for the mechanical engineers, and which is close for our comfort zone. Autonomous vehicle is, I mean, come on, everybody has heard of a Tesla car, electric car, which is autonomous, and it's coming towards us. Like next 10 years from now, I think it would be rare to have a vehicle which is petrol driven or which is a diesel driven. Electric vehicle, which is also autonomous, is definitely coming towards us within 10 years. And smart factories, the factories which are utilizing Industry 4.0 are becoming a future. So introduction of Industry 4.0 curriculum to facilitate the comprehensive development of students is very, very important for all of us. So we must include all those new things in our curriculum. And I'll tell you how to include it also. Now, I come from industry. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so over 7-8 years, I've hired about 10 people in my team, and I've been into interview panel for many, I don't know, maybe 50 plus interviews I've conducted for various positions, for various teams. And I can just tell you what industry need or what exactly we look for. So we look for an analytical mindset. Is this guy can understand the problem? Can he, although he doesn't know the solution, but can he find the solution? At least, does he know or does she know where to look for a solution? And this is what we look for. So analytical mindset for sure, solution orientation and problem solving for sure. I mean, I came across a guy who said his skill set is Googling. I was very interested. I gave him a call and I seriously asked him, why do you think you are very good at Google? And he simply told me that I'm simply so good at finding solutions on Google. I just know it how to find a solution. And I mean, come on, it's an underrated skill, but this is a very important skill today because web is full of too much of information. Find the exact information what we need is not so easy. Another important aspect is dealing with change and uncertainty. So, when I finished my PhD, typical Indian again, I went to my professor, I bowed before him, I touched his feet, I gave him a first copy of my thesis in his hands. And I said, sir, 5 years ka mehnat hai ye pura. It's an amazing outcome. And you know what he said? Ganesh, you are misunderstanding. Your thesis may be read by somebody, 1%, 2%, I don't know. How many people will read your thesis? I really don't know. I mean, he simply said he hasn't read his thesis since last 5 years. And that's true. I mean, it's been 7 years. My thesis is sitting there and I haven't read it myself. Yeah. But he told me something, that the outcome of your PhD is not your thesis. Outcome is you. What you have learned is how to deal with the problem where you don't know the solution. When I started my PhD, I did nothing, or I did not know anything about composites. And at the end of the PhD, at least on paper, I was expert in composite mechanics. So that's what mindset change is required, dealing with change and uncertainty. Then of course you definitely require people skill. That's a must have. You cannot work alone. In the industry, we definitely look for people who can be teamed up. Innovation and creativity, those are the blabber terms. It's very difficult to measure somebody on innovation and creativity. Social sensitivity and cross-cultural orientation is very, very important. Today, it's a modern world. We are international citizens, and we have to keep our cultural aspects a little bit on the side. We have to move one step ahead. Those other people from the other culture also have to move towards us by one step, and we have to work together as a team. This is very, very important. And the last point, managing self. I would say I myself is learning it today. Having a little bit of self-awareness, self-development, including wellness, is what is required by everybody, what is expected by everybody these days. So that's what industry definitely look for. Now, what do we need in a simple words? Again, I'm changing things from the philosophy to the real life. So we need data engineering, data visualization today. We need cybersecurity for sure, because everything is going into cloud. Everything is stored into some data center somewhere in the middle of the sea. Yeah, and some person who knows the exact technology, knows a little bit of keywords here and there, he has a couple of keys in his hand or her hand, can bridge your security and can, I mean, I read it on the internet. There is this guy in 2009, he mined, I think about 3,000 Bitcoins in his hard drive, and accidentally he threw that hard drive. The cost of that hard drive is somewhere, I don't know, 1,000 crore rupees today. Yeah, and he has now hired people to find out that hard drive from his kiosk or from the backyard of his house where he threw it. So you see, it's very important. So cybersecurity, cloud computing is the next thing. I mean, how many of you, I mean, many of you would know about finite element analysis, computationally intensive thing. It's a quite demanding softwares. But some few days back, I visited my friend. He works at a Dassault, the software called Abacus. He simply opened his mobile phone. He fed the data, he did some changes, and he has submitted the job, which was running for 18 hours on mobile phone. Via mobile phone, the input file was modified and submitted into the cloud, and results were automatically generated in the PDF file format, which were directly sent to his email once the job was done. That's where we are moving. Artificial intelligence once more, blockchain, IoT, and automation. So my message to all of you is, if you hear any new buzzword, just introduce everything and anything that is new. And how would you introduce that? Is by introducing relevant projects. So some of you are teachers for engineering colleges, some of you are teachers for polytechnic colleges. My suggestion is, any student comes to you, says, sir, I would like to do something on a IC engine. Don't discourage him or her, it's okay. But at least tell him that use electronics. Can you use Internet of Things? Can you use mobile phone to monitor what is the smoke coming out of engine, when the engine start, when the engine ends. Can you do that? And those are the projects I think we should introduce. These are the technologies I'm talking about. So I'm associated with VIT and MIT Pune, and I often I do two jobs there. One job is guide students for their final year engineering projects, but I also go for Viva as an external. And I think about 3 weeks back, I was conducting a Viva for second year students. And the entire topic was computer softwares. So they were supposed to develop a computer program, which is small, within 15 days. That was a course. And some of the students have developed a program where you know, there is a Python program it was, and there is a camera, and camera would detect whether you have put the mask on or not, or you know, by hand gesture one can change the language if you want to say something. Like, for example, somebody is deaf and he cannot speak, then there is a sign language software which with the gesture the camera will read the sign and convert into audio format which can be heard by you. You know, so those things are happening, and those are the simple ideas. But along with those lines, along with Industry 4.0 lines, we can introduce those ideas to our students. Now, what is data engineering? Data engineering has really everything related to data. So data experts, data management, data pipelines, data infrastructure, data monitoring, data leak, if at all, we must avoid this. Data custodian, so who has a right to do what? Of course, there involves data consultants, performance, because if my data copying and my data pasting is taking too much time, I definitely don't want. And data modeling. So data modeling is basically building a data by using the data itself. It's a machine learning approach. So by using a data, you come up with an equation which can be used for building or creating the similar data. Yeah. Now, data visualization, and my emphasis is quite a lot on a data visualization. Why? I tell you, all those people who are sitting into management, every single day, they are trained to look at the data. At the end of the day, they are going to ask a simple question: am I making profit or not? And if I'm making profit 10 rupees today, how can I make it 20 rupees today? Tell me. And that can be only spoken in terms of data, which is easy to understand. And data visualization is highly underrated skill, but I believe it's very, very important. How do you really read data? How do you present data? What is the story behind? And if we could give that skill to our students, it's a head-on. Yeah, that student definitely can be very much successful in his or her career. Data visualization is a must-have tool, must-have technique. Yeah, and I mean, there is tons of data available on the internet where one can learn it, how to represent a particular data. Now, cloud computing is nothing but there is a server where you submit your jobs or you store your data in a particular format, and you ask or you retrieve data from that particular server whenever you need, with the key which is supposed to be available with the authorized person. So that's all. There exists a private cloud, there exists a public cloud, there exists a hybrid cloud, but it's a storage technology, nothing else. Now, there are 3 types of artificial intelligence. So first type of artificial intelligence is artificial narrow intelligence. You might have heard this term called as ANI, where machine learning happens. So basically you are in a stage 1 where you train your algorithm to get the right answer. Let me give you a simple example. So when machine learning happens, you simply, what you do is you do 2 plus say 4. Machine learning will give you answer, maybe, I don't know, 10. You say it's a wrong answer. Then Next iteration happens, it gives you 8. You say it's a wrong answer. Next iteration happens, it gives you answer 7. You say wrong answer. Next iteration happens and it gives you 6, correct iteration. And that's how you train your algorithm to learn what is the function of addition. It's a very simple example, but that's how you train algorithm. And that's how machine learns, okay, this is called as a plus function. And once it learns plus, it can easily learn minus. And once it learns minus, it becomes very easy for it to learn multiplication and division and so on and so forth. So that's how you train machines. Second is artificial general intelligence, AGI, it is called as, where computer that is smart as human across the board. So we are in a stage 2 of artificial intelligence at the moment, where a lot of computers are as smart as us, seriously. Yeah, in one of the clips where there was a robot, first robot which was like a human at Dubai, and who could think, who could really decide looking at your facial expressions that what is happening with you. And we are reaching there. So it is computer which is smart as us. And third stage where we are not there yet, but I think we are moving towards it, which is an intellect that is much smarter than best human brains, practically every field. And that's where Elon Musk is warning us that we are moving into that phase. Maybe good, maybe not good. I don't know. With the given data today, with the given information today, with the given understanding today, I don't know. We are just, maybe we are creating our own hell. I don't know. Next. So blockchain, all of you might have heard something called as a Bitcoin. Bitcoin is outcome of a blockchain. Yeah, it's very simple. It's a computer program, once again, which is highly secured, unless and until all the box. So how does it work? You want to transact some Bitcoins to somebody else. A block representing this transaction gets created. Okay, so you can always trace back that when and who transferred a Bitcoin to whom. It's always there. Then the block is broadcasted over all the nodes of network. So block is always distributed. Nobody owns the entire Bitcoin technology. It's distributed over number of people. And that's the key. Nobody's owning it really fully. And then there exists a public key, there exists a private key. There are a lot of technological things involved. And when all the nodes validate, yes, it is a valid Bitcoin, everything is fine, then the transaction happened. And this new block where the transaction happened, where all the information is there that this so-and-so transaction happened, is there. And then the transaction is verified and executed. That's called as a blockchain technology. Pretty sure you have heard about it, and that's the boom today. Everybody is moving there. Third, IoT, I think there is a separate session organized by the organizers on IoT. IoT in a simplistic world is basically connected. Everything is connected to everything by internet. That's all. At any time, at anywhere. What is automation? The most important thing today is, so I'm into quality assurance business of a software. And whenever I do testing, I mean, we do about 10,000 tests in 3 months of span where the software release happens. And if I really decide that I do it manually, I'll go crazy. Yeah, and automation is must. And that's where the world is moving. So very simple automation program. If you advise your students that why don't you write an automation program, a simple automation program, but still the student will get an idea about it. And that will be very much valuable for him or her to get a job in the industry. Yeah, so my suggestion is encourage your students to learn about automation. So what does that mean for the students? I mean, trust me, guys, there are so many jobs available today that we don't get a right candidate. And if, I'm very active on LinkedIn. There are so many people who are crying out there saying that there are no jobs. I simply say, please improve your skills or learn new skills. If you don't have skills, then sorry, you don't have jobs. But if you have skills, there are 10 jobs lined up for you. Yeah. I mean, this is a screenshot taken from the internet. Simple. There are so many opportunities. So big data engineer, business intelligence development, data scientist, machine learning engineer, research scientist, data analytical, product manager, artificial intelligence engineer, robotic scientist. And although you see this scientist and engineer and manager, these jobs are for freshers. They do not expect you to have any prior experience. The expectation is very simple. You know the technology, you have done some projects in the technology, you understand the fundamentals of the technology, you have required soft skills, you can communicate what you have learned. That's all. And bam, you're there. So jobs are for sure there. Just need to have skills. So pick up a new technology and learn and apply. That's what my suggestion to you. Please pass it on to your students. Now, what are the employers, Sagar? And I can tell you again from my own experience, we are looking for a person who can do a Python automation for a particular infrastructure. We have been struggling for 6 months and we are ready to pay double the market, but we are unable to get a good engineer. That's the reality. We are unable to find a right candidate these days. So students are supposed to learn new technology and must have the skills to explain it. The jobs are there. So what are the new skills required? So applied industrial skill is definitely required. IoT, sensors, control network is required. Data, coding, VR, machine learning, AI is required. So basic skills, electronic skills, programming skills, simple. Basics of mechanical engineer. Most of us are mechanical engineers, I believe. I don't know, not sure very. So many of you are mechanical engineers. So definitely mechanical engineering, electronics engineering, and coding. So I'll go a little deeper. So this guy here on the right side is a very famous TikToker. Yeah, what he does is, anybody is doing anything in a complex fashion, he simply simplifies and simply says, why don't you use the simple technology rather than using a very complex technology? Like, for example, if somebody is trying to use those sticks used by Japanese for eating noodles, he simply says, okay, why not to use a fork and a spoon? Yeah, why to have a complex technology? It's that simple. So expectations from the industries are, students should understand fundamentally basic applied, again, I emphasize on applied skills. Yeah. So if he or she is from a fluid sciences or done a project in the fluid sciences, if I simply ask, what is a Biot number and what is the significance of it? Why do we use it? What is the Reynolds number? What is what is it called as laminar flow or turbulence flow? Where you see laminar flow, where do you see turbulence flow? What does it mean to the industry? Yeah. If a student could answer that, trust me, I will be more than happy to give chances. Yeah. So industry is ready. Industry is looking for jobs, people who can do the job. Unfortunately, there are students who are unable to answer simple questions. And I think it's our responsibility to tell them that this is what you would be asked. Let's learn that. Yeah. Next, IoT. So programmable logical, so PLC programming, basically human machine interfaces, one must learn. Electronics and variable frequency drives, one must learn. Motor, motion control, power electronics. So my strong suggestion is that our curriculum must have minimum 2 courses on electronics. Yeah, must have. Very important today. It's difficult to deal or to not know electronics. A plain mechanical engineering is useless these days. You must understand electronics, okay? And the second, of course, you must know at least basics of coding. Python, C, CPP, any language, must know coding. Should understand if somebody wants to make a career in machine learning and AI, statistic regression is important, SQL is important, SAS is important, cloud-based production, how does that work? You should have an understanding how data gets generated and how data gets utilized for making decisions. Like for example, right now we are all using smartphones and we have a lot of apps installed in our phone. And those apps are constantly monitoring and collecting the data from our mobile phone. I mean, at this moment I'm talking, my phone is listening to me, I know that. And the other day we were planning a holiday to travel to Vaishno Devi next month. And seriously, to my surprise, I've received an email from Make My Trip saying that planning for Vaishno Devi trip, here is the itinerary we can provide you. So they are constantly listening to you. But how do they know that this was the guy who was looking for Vaishno Devi trip? So there must be some connection, and constantly gathering that data, finding the right information, providing the right information to somebody else is a key. Yeah. So I think I have provided enough emphasis on multidisciplinary approach. You should really know statistics, computer science, electronics, mechanical engineering, all mix of all. If you're from electronics, try to learn a little bit of mechanical engineering. You might be working with Tesla tomorrow. Yeah. And they are making electrical cars, but there exists a wheel and a gearbox and everything. So although it works or it runs on an electrical motor, but sorry, there is a belt system, there is a gear system, and that is pure mechanical engineering. So you must know everything, at least should have an introduction about everything. And how to be employable? So understand basic industrial needs, what industry would want. Knowledge about industrial processes, how industrial processes are linked to one another, from where the raw material is made, what is done, then what exactly the various processes are performed on it, and then what is the outcome. That is expected from the student to know. That if I say how the cement is made, or how, I don't know, how this phone is made, or how injection molding works, student is expected to know wherever he is applying the processes, industrial needs. Why am I using injection molding and not compression molding, or not forming, or why I'm not machining something? Yeah. And the third aspect is a student must know the quality systems, how the quality is assured, why Apple is so good in quality and why not other phones are so good in quality. So quality is also important. So these are the three areas where a lot of jobs are available. Either they are directly into the production, either they are a process centric, or quality systems. So three areas where the jobs are available. Now, I cannot really tell you enough about it. Soft skills. So whenever we hire anybody, I'm looking for a candidate who is going to be part of my life really for 8 hours a day for next 5 years. I better have a good human being to whom I feel comfortable. I will not hire somebody who's arrogant, who is dominating, who is not cooperative. So teamwork and collaboration is must have. And so whenever technical skills are done, the next stage is soft skills. Can I really hire this guy? Can I work with this personality? Is he good enough? Can one collaborate with that personality? Communication skills, very important. Many times this happens, and especially happens with freshers. You ask them one question, they don't know the answer to, they will start explaining what they know. And this is big no in the industry. I have asked you a certain question. I expect you to answer to that certain question. And if you don't know, you simply say, I don't know. However, I know a little more about the relevant topic. Is it okay? I talk about it. And that's what is missing today with the students. Organizational skills, very important once again. Problem solving skills, leadership skills, project management skills. On the right side, I follow this guy. He wrote a book called Start With Why. You don't hire for skills. Seriously, I mean, especially for freshers, we don't hire for skills. We hire for attitude. You can always teach skills. I have a teammate, her name is Kanchan. She's from Nagpur. Pretty average performance in technical, yeah. But we did ask her one question though, and that question was turned around. We asked her, what was the most amazing moment of your life? Something like that, or what was your strength, or something like that question we asked. And she simply said 70.28. I was like, what is it? She was like, you know, those are my 10th standard percentage. I said, what is so special about it? And she said, you know, I was seriously ill for 2 months in month of January and February. People were not expecting that I will get pass in my 10th standard exams. And I definitely will fail in mathematics because I did not have enough practice. But still, I got 70.28. So I'm a fighter. And that's what is required. Attitude. I can solve the problems. I definitely can achieve something. And we simply hired her. Yeah, you hired for the attitude. You don't hire for skills. Because definitely we don't expect that the students would know everything about the technology, which is a confidential knowledge on our side. Yeah, it's a combined knowledge. I mean, I work for the team. My team consists of 30 people. Out of 30, 22 are PhDs, including me. It's a highly intellectual team. And the knowledge we have is like, I don't know, combined knowledge of 100 years, maybe. It's difficult for outsider to know this. So all we expect that you should know fundamentals and you should know what you have written on your resume. Yeah, and sir has already said about this. So I do conduct workshops on the resume writing. So any of one of you, if you would like to have a session at your college, just feel free to contact me. Soft skill wise, I also would like to tell that the freshers, even if you're a fresher, you already have those skills. All you need is a story to say that you have those skills. For example, you have done a college project. It was a team effort. 4 to 5 people were collaborated. So you did a team effort. Communication skill, that college project you presented in front of your faculty members 3 times in a year. So you know communication skill. If you have all your 10th standard, 12th standard, diploma, engineering mark sheets in place, you have not lost even a single mark sheet, you have organizational skills. You have successfully finalized your engineering problem, you do have a problem solving skills. When it came to deciding, because you had 3 different projects, 3 different options, out of which you have selected one project as your final year engineering project, along with the discussion with the 4 teammates, you did show a leadership skills. Yeah, and of course you executed your project very well. So you have a project management skill. It's all about the perspective. It's all about how do you sell yourself. Yeah. So where to learn? Coursera, Udemy, edX, NPTEL, Code Academy. Oh, I mean, tons and tons of courses are available to learn anything and everything. Yeah. And what are the projects ideas? So automation is here. 3D printing is there. Then data mining or data visualization. One can do a project. Cloud computing, one can do a project. There is another area which is emerging called as a VR. Yeah. So one can really write a small program where VR could be shown. So that's all. And it was wonderful to talk to you. I hope you have heard me. I know it's an evening time. You just want to wind up maybe. So that's my email ID. That's my mobile number. And feel free to send me LinkedIn request. I don't remember ever I have rejected any LinkedIn request. I would be more than happy to be part of your network and interact with you. Yeah. So that's all. Any questions?
Yeah. Participants.
Hello.
Yes. Umesh sir, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear you. ऐकताय. हिवराळे sir बोला.
So, sir, this is Madhu Mulge from Government Residential Women's College.
Yeah, ma'am, please speak. Please raise your question.
Sir, I have one question. Can you please guide us on signing MOUs with the MNC like Hexaware or any MNC?
Yeah, it's
MOUs.
Yes. So when do you sign a MOU? You sign a MOU when there is a business proposition. You offer something and they need something. You see the point?
Yes, but we never get chance like we can sign our MOUs with like Hexaware or the IBM or the any MNC companies.
So you have to know.
So do you have any idea or procedure that we can follow to sign the MOUs?
See, you need to know main HR people. Yeah.
Okay, HR.
So,
okay.
For example, if you know, for example, Hexagon. Yeah. If you know head of the HR,
okay,
you write an email clearly mentioning that we have students, we would like to do, or we would like to do an engineering project with you for you. Yeah.
Okay.
And these are the various projects we have already done for college or for the different students. How can we collaborate? Open question.
Okay.
And if they are interested, they will simply send you a form where you both have to agree that legally, whatever your student learns there, the data is not breached. You know, the data is not shared with anybody else. And that project belongs to the company. Yeah, the student gets a value out of it, but the project belongs to the company. Very standard format they do have. I mean, every company has a different format, but we do also
obviously.
Yeah, so we do have MOUs in place with IIT Bombay, with IIT Delhi, where we do collaborate on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Okay. That we have in our curriculum, that is in-flight training and the MOUs to bridge up the gap between the curriculum and the industrial environment. So that's why I'm asking such things.
You have to reach to the HR. You have to reach to HR. You have to write email to them, but it's like selling, you know, once again.
All right.
You have to showcase the value proposition you're going to bring.
Okay.
If you
fine,
show
sir.
That,
okay, fine, sir. Thank you for information. And I would like to call you or invite you in our college for such nice sessions. I will contact you personally. Thank you.
Any day. Have you noted down my email ID and
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you.
Yes. Any day.
Next question from Umesh. So Umesh Hivrale, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Soni sir, it was very nice to listen your lecture because continuously from 2-3 days we are hearing the industry 4.0, and there was only one question that was in mind of everybody, that suppose everything is being done by the robots, everything is being done by the machines, then how to utilize the human time? And that you answered very well. Okay, you have to think how you have to utilize your time. And really that was appreciable. But sir, in morning session we have the lecture on our national education policy, and in that they explain that there are some schemes they are keeping for the language. So my feelings I would like to ask you in Marathi if you are comfortable.
अरे बिलकुल बिलकुल पुण्याचा आहे मी सर.
ओके ओके ओके. आता सर काय झालं, आता हे मी सगळं ऐकतो म्हणजे बऱ्याच दिवसापासून, अगोदर पण मी ह्या सगळ्या टेक्नॉलॉजीकडे बघत होतो, असं वॉच वगैरे करत होतो ऍज अ टीचर. आणि मग मुलांना कोणत्या डायरेक्शनला वगैरे घेऊन जायचं किंवा काय करायचं हा कंटिन्युअसली आमचा म्हणजे अकॅमडेशन म्हणून आमच्या मध्ये तो प्रश्न असतो की काय नवीन ऍड करायचं. आता तुमचं लेक्चर ऐकत असताना सर आता काय झालं, 2-3 मी तुम्हाला म्हणजे फक्त सर जर वेळ असेल तर मी थोडस बोलतो. 2-3 डिसिजन फक्त मी सांगतो आपल्या.
येस.
एक 2-3 डिसिजन असं झाले होते की अगोदर आमच्या
मला एक मिनिट सकाळकरी सर ती लिंक कशी शेअर
कुठपर्यंत आलंय?
हा कोणती सर?
मी तुम्हाला फीडबॅकची लिंक दिली होती ना, ती शेअर करता का प्लीज?
हा मी शेअर करतो ती. शेअर करतो
प्लीज. म्हणजे बाय दॅट टाइम हे डिस्कशन होईल तोपर्यंत फीडबॅक. सर एव्हरीबडी प्लीज रिक्वेस्टिंग यू टू प्रोव्हाइड फीडबॅक. हाऊ कॅन आय इम्प्रूव्ह? ऑलवेज लुक फॉर इम्प्रुव्हमेंट. येस. हा सर गो अहेड.
सर तर मी फक्त 2-3 डिसिजन तुमच्याशी शेअर करू इच्छितो आणि पुढे मग माझा मेन प्रश्न की अगोदर सेंट्रल गव्हर्नमेंटने एक डिसिजन घेतलं की 1ली ते 8वी पर्यंत मुलांची परीक्षा घ्यायची नाही.
बरं.
हा, आणि तो डिसिजन मला वाटतं काही 10-12 वर्ष वगैरे चालला. त्याच्यानंतर त्याचे जे काही रिझल्ट आले, जे काही मुलं येत होते पुढं, अँड दॅट वॉज व्हेरी म्हणजे सगळं बेकार होतं ते. आणि सरकारला तो आपला निर्णय बदलावा लागला. ही एक पॉलिसी. दुसरा डिसिजन हायर एज्युकेशन, इंजिनिअरिंग एज्युकेशन मध्ये पुणे युनिव्हर्सिटीने असं सुरू केलं की काही कोर सब्जेक्टला दे स्टार्टेड टेकिंग द एक्झाम इन द फॉर्म ऑफ MCQ. म्हणजे जसं थिअरी ऑफ मशीन असेल, स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ मटेरियल असेल किंवा मॅनेजमेंटचा विषय असेल, तर त्याला त्यांनी MCQ चालू केलं. आणि मॅथमॅटिक्सचा विषय असेल, नंतर त्यांनी 2-3 वर्ष केलं वाटतं ते. आणि त्याच्यानंतर युनिव्हर्सिटीच्या पण लक्षात आलं की ह्या पद्धतीने इंजिनियर घडू शकत नाहीत चांगले. आणि तो निर्णय माझ्या माहितीप्रमाणे त्यांना वापस घ्यावा लागला.
बरोबर.
तिसरी गोष्ट, आता आमचा 2 वर्षाचा जो काही ऍज अ टीचर म्हणून आमचा जो अनुभव आहे, आणि आता आम्ही रिसेंटली सुरू केलं, ऑफलाईन सुरू केलं, तर ऑफलाईन शिकवताना ज्या पद्धतीने मी मुलांचे चेहरे वाचू शकतो किंवा त्यांना जे समजू शकतो, आणि ऑनलाईन मध्ये ज्या पद्धतीने मुलांनी शिकले किंवा परीक्षा दिल्या किंवा आम्ही शिकवलंय, तर याचे कॉम्प्लिकेशन तुमच्याकडे हे या 1-2 बॅचेसचे मुलं येतील त्यावेळेस होईलच इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये. ते कळेलच आम्हाला फीडबॅक. तसं मला म्हणायचं होतं सर की ह्या ज्या गोष्टी आपण आता सगळीकडून जर मी याला जर एकदा कलेक्टिव्ह जर केलं, समजा इंडस्ट्री 4.0 असेल, 3D प्रिंटिंग असेल, त्याच्यानंतर डाटा सायन्स असेल, डाटा अनालिसिस वगैरे हे जे सायन्स वगैरे असेल, रोबोटिक्स वगैरे करणं वगैरे जे असेल, आणि सगळं जे व्हर्च्युअल वगैरे जे होतंय, आणि ह्या व्हर्च्युअल याच्यामध्ये जर कंबाईन केलं, एकीकडे ते मी मागे एकदा वाचलं होतं की ते
आपला हिवराळे सर.
हा
सर तुमचा ब्रीफ मध्ये थोडा प्लीज प्रश्न, तुमचा प्रश्न काय विचारा प्लीज.
हो सर, मला त्यांना ते विचारायचं की तो क्वांटम कॉम्प्युटर्स वगैरे हे सगळं जे कंबाईन होतंय सर, तर याचं पण असं होईल का की आपण अंधाधुंदपणे याला फॉलो करतो, हे परत आपल्याला मागे घ्यावं लागेल सगळं म्हणून, असं काही वाटतंय का सर तुम्हाला?
सर मी एक गोष्ट सांगेल तुम्हाला. मला 10वीला चांगले मार्क मिळाले होते. मी डिप्लोमा कॉलेजमध्ये गेलो आणि मला वाटतं मला एवढे मार्क होते की मला कुठलीही ब्रांच मिळत होती. आणि ही गोष्ट आहे 99 सालची. ठीक आहे. आणि त्यावेळेस कम्प्युटर सायन्स बूम मध्ये होतं. सगळेजण म्हणे कम्प्युटर सायन्स घे, अरे तुझं एकदम भारी होईल आयुष्यात, भारी. पण मला काय गाड्या आवडायच्या, टिपिकल बॉईश थिंग. नाही, मला मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग करायचं. ठीक आहे, मी मेकॅनिकल इंजिनिअरिंग केलं. आज मी कुठे आहे? मी मेकॅनिकल इंजिनियर साठी सॉफ्टवेअर बनवतोय, पण बनवतो तो सॉफ्टवेअरच आहे. राईट. सो त्या क्षणी जे आपल्याला योग्य वाटलं, गिवन दोज सर्कमस्टान्सेस, गिवन दोज डिसिजन, गिवन दॅट डेटा, त्यानुसार आपण तसे निर्णय घेतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल एकदम सिंपल सांगतो, हिटलरनी वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 मध्ये हंगेरी खाल्ला, जेकोस्लोवाकिया खाल्ला, फ्रान्स खाल्ला. ठीक आहे. आणि मूर्खपणा काय केला की रशियामध्ये घुसला. आणि वर्ल्ड वॉर 1चा अनुभव होता त्याच्याकडे, पण तर सुद्धा रशियामध्ये घुसला. आणि रशियामध्ये घुसला आणि तिथे सगळा संपला खेळ. तेच त्यांनी चुपचाप हंगेरी घेऊन आणि चुपचाप जेकोस्लोवाकिया घेऊन बसला असता तर 1990-95 पर्यंत जगला असता. जर्मनी वुड हॅव बीन द मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टंट सुपर पॉवर इन युरोप. या सो you take decisions based on the available information at that point. We don't really know. As Elon Musk is saying very clearly, we don't know. We are going into a self-suicide mission by building AI. Maybe not. Maybe yes. A future only can tell. Right? So we don't know. All we can do is, at the moment, everybody is going there. We have stomachs to feed. We need jobs. We want to learn, and we want to be relevant. We cannot be adamant because we are alone. We cannot simply say, I will not learn electronics, I'll not learn programming. I must learn in order to be relevant, or I would be absolute. मला घरी जाऊन शेती सांभाळावी लागेल आणि तिथे पण टेक्नॉलॉजी तर वापरावीच लागेल.
Ganesh sir.
Yes.
Dr. Ganesh, would you please resend that feedback form to me?
Yes, immediately.
सर एक
आणि व्हॉट्सअपवर पाठवू शकता का?
हो, लगेच पाठव.
Please send it on WhatsApp. Thank you.
Yes, I will send you on a WhatsApp.
Okay. Others may please continue.
Yes. So I've sent you a link. I request everybody, please provide your feedback on the link. Yes, sir will be sending it to you. Any other questions? Anybody?
सर गणेश सर.
हा बोला.
सर माझा एक प्रश्न होतोय, जे आता बिग डाटा आणि आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजन्स हे कन्सेप्ट ज्याप्रमाणे मार्केटमध्ये येत आहे, याचा फ्युचर पर्स्पेक्टिव्ह काय असू शकते? म्हणजे किती वर्षापर्यंत हे डाटा अनालिसिस चालेल?
सर हे लाईफ लॉंग चालणार आहे. कारण बघा, इव्हेंच्युअली आधी टीव्हीवर ऍड यायच्या, आता आपण नेटफ्लिक्स बघतो त्याच्यात ऍड नसते, राईट? आणि जी काही ऍड येते, म्हणजे पहिले पेपरमध्ये लोक लिफलेट टाकायचे, 10 लिफलेट असायचे. आता लिफलेट पण येत नाही, आता पेपरला ऍड पण येत नाही, बरेच लोक पेपर वाचत पण नाही. आणि कोविडमध्ये आपण हे शिकलोय की आपल्याला हे जर पेपर नसेल, काय म्हणतात त्याला, फिजिकल पेपर नसेल तरी चालणार, राईट? हळूहळू पण शिकलो. व्हॉट आय वॉन्ट टू से इज, तुमचा डेटा, तुम्ही काय सर्च केलंय इंटरनेटवर, तुम्ही अमेझॉनवर काय शोधलंय, तुम्ही काय विचार करताय, तुम्ही कुठे फिरायला जाताय, हे तुमच्या टार्गेट प्रोव्हायडरला, जो सर्व्हिस प्रोव्हाइड करणारे, जो प्रॉडक्ट विकणारे, त्याला हा डेटा सारखाच पाहिजे. ही वॉन्ट टू रीच टू अ राईट कस्टमर. That's why he need data all the time. And right now the data which is provided to him or her is not so clean. Yeah, there is a lot to do there. म्हणजे त्याच्याकडे 100 लोकांचा डेटा येतो, त्यातला एक जण रिलेव्हंट असतो. He wants to go to that relevancy level, that you are or you have been reached by a person who is providing the services which you are looking for. You see my point? त्यामुळे डेटा मायनिंग इज
सर बिग डाटा साठी सर स्टुडंटला कोणते सॉफ्टवेअर आपण स्टडी करायला सांगायला पाहिजे?
सर तुम्ही डिप्लोमा कॉलेजला, इंजिनिअरिंग कॉलेजला?
मी डिप्लोमाला सर. माझा पण डिप्लोमा गव्हर्नमेंट पॉलिटेक्निक अमरावतीतून झालेला आहे.
अरे वा वा सर, क्या बात आहे.
2001 ची ऍडमिशन होती, 2003 ला पास होते.
हाय फाय 2003 ला तुम्ही ग्रॅज्युएट झाले. मी 2002 ते 2005 ला होतो. सो यू आर सिनियर टू मी 1 इयर.
नाही सर, ज्युनियर आहे सर. माझा डिप्लोमा 2003 ला झालाय आणि इंजिनिअरिंग 2007 ला झाली.
नाही तर ओके, 1 इयर ज्युनियर. ओके, आय सी.
1 इयर. सो बिग डाटा म्हणजे स्टुडंटला कोणता आपण म्हणजे हे करायला पाहिजे, सॉफ्टवेअर सांगायला पाहिजे?
एकदम सिंपल मी सांगू, प्रत्येक स्टुडंटला एक्सेल मध्ये प्रोग्रामिंग करता आलं पाहिजे ऍज अ डिप्लोमा स्टुडंट. त्याला सिंपल एक आर म्हणून लँग्वेज आहे, ती आली पाहिजे. एक टूल आहे, ऑनलाईन टूल आहे, हा, किंवा BI म्हणून एक ऑनलाईन टूल आहे. एवढं जरी आलं आणि एवढं जरी त्यांनी प्रोजेक्ट केला, दॅट्स मोर दॅन सफिशियंट. सगळ्यात इम्पॉर्टंट, आय टेल यू, इवन टुडे, आय मीन आय स्पीक टू ऑल डेटा सायंटिस्ट हु आर रिअली working in a cutting edge technology. Excel is one of the most powerful tool even today. 80% of data cleaning is done by Excel. Yeah, Excel, I mean, I have seen Excel file which was 2 GB in size. You can imagine the amount of data Excel can handle.
सर त्याच्यावर सध्या आता वर्ड मध्ये सर याला SAP भरपूर आले ना, म्हणजे तो स्ट्रक्चर आपल्याला
बरेच प्लगइन्स आहेत, बरेच प्लगइन आहेत. सी ऍज अ डिप्लोमा
SAP आहे, त्यानंतर शेअरफोर्स आहे.
Right. But I still, I don't know. I'm a bit old school. I still love Excel. So easy. Yeah. Okay. Very relevant. Very easy to.
The discussion would go on. I mean, Dr. Ganesh Soni has shared his mobile number as well as his email ID.
Yes, my email ID is there. My mobile number is there. Feel free to reach out to me. Send me a LinkedIn request. We can connect there. No problem. Any day you need any session like this, feel free to reach out. I would try my best to be there.
Yeah. Thank you all participants, including Professor Umesh Yurale and Professor Arun Meshram and others, for asking your doubts to our faculty, our resource person. May I now request at the fag end of this session, our co-coordinator, Dr. Santosh Chaudhary, sir. He would offer a vote of thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. So in this lecture, it is very informative and what we expect from last 2 days, because we all are from teaching field, all are teachers, and what is the future of our student. It is very clear from your lecture. How this...
I tried my best.
For mechanical engineering student, as you know, lot many dropouts are there, sir, from our diploma engineering. So they student now doesn't like this mechanical engineering and production engineering only because there is no any jobs and core mechanical job available. So that is the most important thing. And in this lecture, how this machine learning, AI, robotics, and 3D printing, and how it is important for future, that every teacher, including not mechanical but electronics, computer, and all, that we understand. Actually, what is the industry need and what we are teaching, and how to bridge the gap between these two, that we understand. And definitely, sir, in next MSBT curriculum, we'll try to give our feedback to MSBT regarding how this few subject, at least as you say, 2 programming languages should be there. Minimum 2 languages. Yes, for mechanical engineering, it is tough to get 2 languages, but at least 2 languages diploma mechanical engineer should learn. That is very important. And obviously, electronic subject, you might have learned that basic electronics in your diploma also, but it should be extended up to instrumentation like sensors and all these things, whatever required in ML and AI. So very informative, and I must thankful to Sakalkar sir to have such type of informative lecture for us. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you, Ganesh Soni sir, to have such type of informative lecture for us. Thank you, and I will conclude this lecture.
Yes, and thank you very much for providing an opportunity. It was a pleasure talking to you, everybody.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ganesh. Thank you.
I request all participants, please, you can leave the room.
Thank you, sir.
Every participant should give feedback, whatever given on your WhatsApp group, as early as possible.
Yeah, just 3 questions are there. Just 3 questions by Dr. Ganesh Soni. Please rate his session. Thank you.
One more thing, our daily questionnaire, our daily MD questionnaire will be available soon on your WhatsApp group. Learning material is also provided on the group. Please go through that. Thank you very much. You can leave now. Today's session is over.